Suffering from floods annually and depletion of flora, fauna, birds and wetlands, the Assam government has started taking tough measures against encroachers. Recently, the Guwahati Metro authorities bulldozed down a Pakka wall encroachment built by an international school in the famous Deepor Bill area. Deepor Bill is a Ramsar site and a famous freshwater reservoir of the state adjoining capital city Guwahati, which is home to over 250 species of birds besides 70 species of migratory birds which come annually. It is also the home of many aquatic life and is a tourist destination. The school had illegally built a Pakka stone boundary wall encroaching into this tourist destination. The citizens of the state are very happy that it was broken down.
ये जो एविक्शन चल रहा है दीपर बिल का साइड में, ये रामसा साइड बोल रहा है, बहुत ही आदमी लोग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इसे एनक्रोचमेंट कर रहा है। डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ से विद द हेल्प ऑफ कोऑपरेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट, अदर डिपार्टमेंट, हम लोग ये एविक्शन कर रहा है, चल रहेगा जब तक खत्म नहीं होगा।
Small state Tripura too showed that it cared for wildlife as the state mourned for 4 leopards which died at the Sipahijala Wildlife Sanctuary due to babesiosis, a tick-borne malaria-like illness. The Tripura State Veterinary College and Hospital had tried hard to save the leopards. An emergency meeting had also been convened with experts from the Indian Veterinary Research Institute, which was being consulted to ensure that the disease does not spread to other animals.
ये लियोपर्ड जो मारा गया है टिक फीवर से मारा गया है, बेबेसिया से खतरा नहीं, ये टिक से स्प्रेड होता है और क्योंकि डायग्नोसिस लेट से होता है ये सब बीमार, तो डायग्नोसिस होने के बाद बचाना बहुत मुश्किल है क्योंकि काफ़ी एनीमिया हो जाता है और बाकी जो एनिमल्स के लिए भी थोड़ा ख़तरा है जो फेलाइन स्पेसीज है, तो इसके लिए टिक कंट्रोल के लिए मेजर्स लिया जा रहा है।
Donor Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh might not be a native of the northeastern states, but he has shown that he has caught the pulse of the people of the states by initiating much needed developments like starting a flight from Delhi to Dimapur and holding monthly camps of ministry officials in the northeastern states. We met the minister recently for an exclusive chat.
The Ministry of Donor is taking proactive steps for the welfare of states of the Northeast and people of the region. These include starting direct daily flights by Indigo Airlines between Delhi and Dimapur in Nagaland, as also Air India flights between Kolkata and Silchar. Donor Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh spelled out a few other initiatives in an exclusive interview with Youthfolio.
We started this concept of what you can describe as moving camp secretariat by rotation in each of the 8 states, which means that instead of having this Ministry of Development of Northeast region or a donor ministry based in Delhi, which of course would be there because Delhi happens to be the capital of India, we could place some of our officers by rotation for a couple of days in each of the state. We started off with this experiment in the month of February this year. We were in Manipur, the following month we were in Arunachal, now going to be in Mizoram. So that not only on the physical level it would be useful because it will give you a ground feel to the officers and the functionaries in the Ministry of Donor about what it was all about in that particular state. It will also give them an opportunity to interact with the public representatives, the legislators, the members of the parliament, even the civil society representatives, and also other sections of society. But more than that, and at least equally as much important, is what has been taken very well is a huge psychological message that has gone across, that it is not the case that for redressal of a grievance, a person living in Northeast each time has to travel to New Delhi. New Delhi is also capable and also has the will to travel to his or her destination in Northeast, and not that each time a person living in Northeast would have to travel to the Ministry of Donor in New Delhi. The donor can also travel to doorstep, and therefore I gave it the name of donor and doorstep, which curiously, when abbreviated, means dad.
Road communication is a major sector which is thought to be key to development. We asked the minister about progress in this sector.
We have envisaged a plan to have a corporation for roads, and let's see how far we are able to work it out. We are trying to do that.
Railways is another sector in which work is being done, albeit at a pace which common people are not too happy about. The Northeast faces much difficulty of communication, especially in far-flung areas.
Railway Ministry is also now much more active and working with greater expediency than it was earlier. So I believe, you see, there are other logistic problems as well. For example, the budget required for building a rail track, or for that matter even building a road, is much higher and manifold higher in a region like Northeast than it is in some other part of the country.
There is a feeling among NEC members that bigger states like Assam are hogging the major part of the financial allocation. Questioned on this grievance, the minister said,
as far as we in the Ministry of Donors are concerned, we have a parameter in place to determine how much to give to which state. These parameters include the area of the land. These parameters include the population. These parameters also include the accessibility to certain peripheral areas of the state. And based on these parameters, when the funds or allocations are determined, some states feel that, yeah, numerically the other state got more, but they conveniently ignore that the parameter on which the numerical exceeded in case of the other state was perhaps better in their case, and therefore they. So I think on our part, for us, all the 8 states are equally dear.
Lastly, we asked about the grievance of the state governments that they are facing shortage of IPS and IAS officials. The minister agreed that this is a problem.
When they join the service, and they are so glad having been allocated a cadre, and as good bureaucrats they are expected to live up to that commitment, but soon they start thinking otherwise, which does not always carry a good message to those who look up to these elite officers as some sort of icons. So we try to convince them in a gentle way, in a polite way, that they must go back and serve these states for which they were selected, and I think that is also their moral responsibility.
The minister ended his interview with urging the people of the Northeast to work for peace and harmony, but said that development would go on despite law and order problems.
In order to achieve optimum in the area of development and growth, you need to have absolute peace and an environment of harmony which is devoid of restlessness or devoid of violence or devoid of any kind of discomfiture or unrest. And therefore, whenever there is some sort of unrest on any account, whether it is on account of a foreign infiltration or on account of an undercurrent of alienation or militancy, it would certainly adversely affect the process of development, the pace of development, the planning of development. But having said that, as I said, I also partly disagree, is that we cannot make the process of development subjugant or subservient to all these hassles, because, for example, even if you take the case of terrorism, you cannot wait for the last gun to fall silent before you start working on a project.